All right, everybody, welcome to another installment of Lunchtime Live. I am here with LeZandra McGinnis from LeZandra Photography. How you doing, girl? Doing good?
I'm doing well. Yeah.
Cool. And we're starting a little late.
I feel like there might be a little bit of a lag.
Yeah, so forgive our lag. LeZandra's having a little bit of internet issues, but we're gonna power through it. So I guess we can get started kind of talking a little bit about your business, kind of and basically what your business is about and kind of your journey getting there to own your own business.
Yeah, so I started my photography business when I was living in Hawaii. I was in college at the time. I was 19 and I was trying to do something creative as an outlet because we were living in Hawaii and it was beautiful. And I wanted to take advantage of that. So I started the business really because I wanted to be able to pay for more equipment. Sorry, the lag is throwing me off a little bit. But since then, I continued shooting after I finished my school. I went to school for psychology with the idea of becoming a psych therapist. And the photography business completely sidetracked me in the best way. And after I moved to Virginia, my ex-husband was stationed here. And I decided to go full-time with photography. And I've been doing it full-time since 2013. Next week, actually, February 19th marks my 11th year in business, which I'm really excited about.
How has kind of the photography industry changed in those last 11 years for you?
So much. And that's one of the biggest things that I've noticed as boudoir itself has changed. When I started shooting, it was still very taboo. It's still very, very different than the kind of images that we see now. And because of that, we've had a lot of issues with social media and having images censored or removed or banned and things like that. So we've had to get creative with marketing.
Yeah, and I guess that's kind of mainly what we're talking about today is those algorithms. So you've definitely seen, I saw your post the other day that one of your posts got removed. Has that kind of been an ongoing issue for you?
Oh, it's constant. I feel like, with boudoir in and of itself, because we are taking images that are so sensitive and so intimate, a lot of times we don't really share a lot of the work that we make in the studio. But when our clients do allow us to share images, it's really tricky to get anything shared on social media that will pass through as far as like Facebook ads. They're constantly getting declined or they're not getting approved. And so we've had to clever ways to really market to our community people while navigating around social media and having to show images that are either censored or fit their guidelines. And a lot of times the guidelines aren't super clear or they're changing, or I've shared images I shared a picture of my studio itself and it was flagged for content, even though it was just a building. It was a picture of the building. So social media doesn't love boudoir photographers.
I gotta move my cat. Come on. You can't start now to act up. Come on now. So I guess besides it sounds like the ways that you've tried to get around that are like censoring your pictures and just kind of showing the space itself and not necessarily the ladies that are occupying that space. Are there any other tactics you've kind of used that you've seen work?
So the biggest thing that I have used for when it comes to social media, it really is going to be my Facebook group. And the Facebook group has become a community in and of itself. And that has become a really great extension of the business that wasn't something I ever really predicted it would become. But with the Facebook groups, I'm able to really directly reach my clients, and I'm able to communicate with them in a way that I'm not able to on something like Instagram or a Facebook page. I think having a group and having something that's a little bit more private, a little bit less open to the public, people are more likely to share opinions and thoughts that they probably wouldn't share otherwise. And the space that we created is a really great safe space where it's focused around like women's empowerment, and it's focused around boudoir photography at its core, but I'm able to allow my business and my platform to be heard on a different level there than I would on Instagram. I'm a lot less censored in my Facebook group. I can post whatever I want. And we can have conversations that we otherwise probably wouldn't have on Instagram in the comment section.
So are those, is the Facebook group, I guess, rules or like content guidelines kind of different than just general Facebook?
So Facebook often, they do, when it comes to images, they do have the same kind of restrictions. So even in my Facebook group, there have been times where Facebook has bots that will crawl for skin. So if there's too much skin exposed, it will automatically flag an image. If you have a client whose images are covering like a hand bra kind of situation, that's an automatic flag. So even in the Facebook groups, even though it's a private group, if something's posted in there, because Facebook is able to detect images that might go against their community standards, it will get removed immediately. But things like text on images, you can get away with. And I can use image, like text overlays over images as a way to create content and like ask a question or have like a this or that series or like some kind of quote. So any kind of content that I would typically share on Instagram in my feed, I can share more regularly on my Facebook group and be able to still share my work in the background. So that has been like my way of still showing images that are related to the brand, and they're also branded media. So that way, if like a client wants to share quotable or something like that, they can take that and they can share it, and it's still linked back to me.
That's cool. Yeah, that's a kind of smart way to get around it. Just do like an overlay and then like text so it hides all the bits. That's smart.
And I've been using. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead.
I've been using video too. So I'll overlay text over video. So whenever we do promo, I'll overlay that because I know that video often converts more on social media because people are more likely to watch longer and stay on the page longer. So the Facebook group, I'll use pinned posts. We could use like anytime we run an announcement or anytime we run a sale, that's right up there at the top. So we really only use do one sale of the year. It's Black Friday. So I was able to that up in my client group and book it out before Black Friday even came.
Yeah, that's smart. Do you think with your group, is it more like past clients that maybe will do another shoot with you, or have you found it kind of helps you get newer clients?
It's both. So it originally started as a group for our past clients as a way for me to sort of keep in touch with them after their session. But I really wanted them to also use as a way to refer their friends and give them a chance to get to know me. So we had a client who actually just yesterday, she shared like a behind the scenes photo from her session, and she added, I want to say like at least 30 different women to the client group. So they all have seen her photos, seen the images that we just created that she's sharing on her Facebook page, and then they get added to the group so they can see more about what we do at the studio. So instead of me having to market to them directly, my clients are able to really speak for me, and they really act as cheerleaders for me in our client group. And because it's like something that's private, and it is really focused on like celebrating everybody and really encouraging each other, and it is a community kind of environment, people feel a lot more comfortable to talk about their experience in their session versus like bring it in a Google review or something like that.
Yeah, I think especially with what you do, like the comfortability is really important because it is such like an intimate session. So that's really cool.
Yes. And it also allows them to get to know me before they come into the studio. So I feel a lot more comfortable and I feel like I can talk a lot more freely in my client Facebook group is on my personal Facebook. So I don't really interact so much on my personal Facebook as I do in my client group. So that's usually where we'll do like live streams. We do giveaways every month, a way to sort of build engagement and keep people sort of incentivized to engage. So there's also a lot of sort of strategy to the in and of itself as well.
Yeah, I think giveaways is like a very underused thing a lot of times, because I guess what people have to think about is, you know, if you do a giveaway, it's usually the rules are like this post, tag one of your friends, and, you know, share on your story, and it's unlimited entries. Like, the giveaway potential there is so high, and I think that's really an untapped thing. So
yeah,
smart. What kind of stuff do you give away?
We give away vibrators every month.
Nice.
So I always encourage people to join because, I mean, they're nice. They're very nice. Personally selected by myself. Like, I'm very picky with what we have. And it also ties into, I'm going to school to be a sex coach. So it's a way to build the gap between what I'm going to be doing as an entrepreneur in the future and here in the studio once we offer coaching to our clients. And it's also fun. And it's so much fun because every month it's our top contributor client gift. So each month they on Facebook groups, you can check and see how engaged your users are in the group. So it shows you how many people are commenting, how many people are starting posts, creating posts within the group, engaging, all of that. And it shows you your top contributors. So every month we have a top contributors contest where the top 10 people who are contributing to the group through posts or through commenting, through engaging, they're essentially getting rewarded. So we'll do a random drawing at the end of the month, and whoever the top 10 contributors are, they're put in the hat and they get random listed for their new toy.
Wow, that's like a very good idea, because like the giveaway itself is already incentivizing everybody, but having be like, hey, we got something real special for the top person. That's like, okay, let me get in here even more. So that's really smart. Something I wanted to follow.
And then it also encourages them to add their friends to the group too, and it gets them really talking. And it also helps to create more community engagement. So that way it's not me having to create content all the time. A lot of the clients are able to start it on their own. And a lot of times it's past clients who've come in from their session and they're like, look at what I just did. I want to show you all my images. And then it just helps with getting reviews and building that like community trust in a way that I could talk about how awesome it is and how much fun it is all I want, but having someone in there to sort of speak for me helps so much more, because then you know, hey, this real and they just had this experience, and it helps to know that it puts a face to things.
Yeah, exactly. Client testimonials are super powerful. We always tell our clients that, like, make sure to include that like on your homepage, because that's what people are really going to look for. And yes. I do it a lot with our social clients. I'll like make little graphics with reviews, because I mean, you know, a business can talk about how awesome they are all they want, but if you don't have, you know, customer approval, you know, I'm not really buying it.
Exactly. So, yeah. So, and it's really cool because we have created this community. My clients we build so much great connection before they even come in for their session. So not only do I have a way to really market to other people, but I also have a way to engage with them and get to know them before they come in. And it really just helps me as a boudoir photographer get to know who I'm going to be interacting with. So that way I can talk to them about the vacation they have or whatever, like whatever's going on in their life that I'm already sort of up to speed with, because we've built this relationship on social media.
That's a really good point. Just, I mean, taking it one step further to being like, okay, this person's buying my service, but like, let me make them feel special and like, you know, give them the real customer experience that is worthy of a 5-star review, or better yet, like a word of mouth referral. Like, that's great.
And I have clients that come in repeat. Like, I have so many repeat clients that come in for 3 or 4 sessions, and like they keep coming in because I'm able to, it's not a, I'll see you never again once your session's done. I'm going to keep seeing you. I'm going to talk to you every single day, and we're going to build a relationship. And so I'm able to meet them at different times in their life, and I'm able to still sort of keep top of mind too. So that way, if they want to have a session in the future, or if they have a friend who's interested, they can always add them to the group. And then it just keeps that cycle going.
That's cool. So anybody watching, if you guys have questions for LeZandra about starting your own business, perhaps, getting some pics taken, maybe some questions about Facebook groups, or, getting seen in the algorithm, just post them. We got one here from Liza. What is a Facebook group called? She's trying to get it on some of those prizes, I think.
So if you go to Facebook, if you just type in the URL, it's facebook.com/groups/LeZandra photo.
All right, and I can post the group name in there, hopefully.
And we're having a Galentine's party tonight at 8:00. It's like a virtual one. So if you want to join us, I would love to have you.
Is it, you said that's tonight?
Yep. And so we're going to have like a Zoom, like a virtual party. We're working on the setup and everything, but it really is like I love that I'm able to go in the group and pop on. I can do like a live video, and I can do a quick update, and I'm able to sit and talk to the camera versus having to like sit down and create a post, or, it creates a lot more transparency between me as a business owner and a service provider. And I feel like it creates like a level of trust for sure prior to them having their session.
Yeah, I think the trust is a big thing. I think that, speaks across any business, no matter what.
Absolutely.
That's cool. Let's see. So do you think you find like most of your, I guess throughout all your online marketing, how do you think you get the most clients? Like, where do you think they're coming from?
So it's definitely say the Facebook group. That's going to be, when it comes to client acquisition, I notice it comes through a few ways. When it comes to social media, a lot of times someone will find me either through the group, they'll be added to the group, or they'll see some images on Instagram and they'll follow, and then they'll join the group to learn more. And then typically, if you're in a group, I already know, like, you're either going to have a session with me or you're not. You're going to get to know me, and you're going to get to know whether or not you want to have a shoot with me, or if I'm the right fit or not. So whenever it comes to like any kind of big sales that we do, I announce it to my client group before anything. And then it'll go to the newsletter, and then it'll go out to the public. So like any kind of last minute openings we have, it goes to we have a wait list. It goes to the wait list first, and then it goes to the client group, and then it goes to the public.
Nice. The newsletter, I think, is another direct channel that
Yes.
maybe people don't take advantage of. I've actually spent all week learning how to let people know how to like move the newsletter from their like promotions tab or spam into the inbox.
Yeah.
So I think, do you find that happens a lot, and kind of what are your tips for avoiding that as far as the newsletter?
I wish I had some. Email hates me. A lot of times I find my email straight to people's spam. So I will look out for whatever you're putting together. I would love to see that. But yeah, I wish I had some advice. I do find that like one of the unique tools with the Facebook groups is you create rules. So if you wanted a client or a customer to join, they have to enter in their email address. And then you could use that, and you can add it to your email newsletter. And that way it's another way to sort of collect information. But also, for me, if my Instagram gets shut down, or if my Facebook group gets shut down, then I have a list of emails where I can directly reach my audience versus having to rely strictly on social media.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about Facebook groups too, because we've talked about it a lot in like past lives. Just like you have your socials and stuff, and you kind of put stuff out in the ether, but having that like direct contact with clients and like people that are interested in your content is really the key, because there is so much going on Instagram and all that. So it is nice to have that collection of email, and Facebook group is a really good way to get that. I didn't even think about that, because I'm part of, quite a few Facebook groups, 757 plant group, like, but you get the questions before you join, and that's a great idea, getting the email address so they can have the direct line to all your content. That's really smart. So you got the thing tonight, and did you say you had another sale coming up? What's on your burners right now? Any specials or?
Well, we don't have sales. I mean, I've actually been sort of tinkering with the idea of doing something for our 11th anniversary. We ended up with the Facebook group, I was able to use that to book out like on Black Friday. So I'm booked until August. So I was like, I want to do a sale for my 11th, but I don't really have availability. So that's where I'm like sort of tinkering with ideas. I want to do something, some kind of either community event or some kind of perhaps a special that can be used for later towards the end of the year or during the summer. I'm not 100% sure just yet, but.
Well, yeah, I was going to say too, you got the lingerie line now, so that could
exactly. Yes. Yeah, that's where I was thinking, like, we might do a giveaway tonight for the Galentine's, just if anyone wants to join, it's incentive to come.
Cool, yeah, and if you guys want to join that Facebook group, it is linked in the comments.
It is women only.
Oh yeah, so if you ladies or non-binary folks want to join, and also got her website in there. There is a wait list, but I think it's you're starting bookings in June, if I'm not mistaken.
So we're currently booking for August. I'm going to be taking June and July off for this year. I might do like sessions that are more creative, travel-based, incorporating the sex coaching and boudoir photography. But that's like in the pipeline. So yeah, we're booking for August for right now.
That's cool.
And we do booking windows, and then we'll be opening them up. We'll open up September's booking window in March.
Gotcha. Well, that's cool. I guess when I think we've known each other for like almost 2 years. I've been here, and we met at if you guys were around for the Marketers Anonymous days, and we could go out and do things. That was fun.
I know. I was supposed to talk at it right in March. It was literally like before everything shut down.
I was gonna say, like, this live has been like such a journey to get here.
Yes.
So we originally had LeZandra for like one of the last Marketers Anonymouses we planned. I think we did like one virtual one, but then we moved to the Lunchtime lives. And then this live, I kept trying to schedule it, and then you just kept getting booked. So I was like,
I'm sorry.
No, hey, I imagine you hustle,
very busy.
Yeah, I guess I met you then, and it was kind of, it seemed like it was sort of, I guess I've seen it like blown up a lot since then. I guess. Maybe, I don't know. Like,
I really think the pandemic honestly has shifted a lot of people's opinions on boudoir and on self-portraiture and on images of women. Like, it's so wild because my business is busier now post-COVID than it was prior, which is so wild to me. But I think that there has been a lot of a cultural shift in perceive the images, and so I think it's a lot more accessible. It's a lot less taboo now than it was like 11 years ago when I started shooting, because before I would get preached at all the time. Now everyone's like, oh, I know what boudoir is. A friend of mine's had a session before. Whereas before I'd be like, oh yeah, I have to describe what it is or something like that, and that's always fun.
Yeah, I guess because you just moved to this new space recently, right?
I did, yeah. So we were in downtown Norfolk, and we moved up the road to Park Place. We were at like 500 Granby, now we're at 2800. So it's still right down the street, but a different kind of environment. And I love that I have like so much more flexibility, and I've like fallen in love with Norfolk all over again. I love it here. Even it's definitely been a journey, but it's become home. I like it.
Well, yeah, I think that's pretty much all I had. Is there anything else you want to add in there?
I don't think I have anything. I just really like, I cannot stress how important like the Facebook groups have been for me personally, just as a marketing tool, but also just a way to really build a sense of community prior to coming in for sessions. Like, and it goes beyond the experience of the session itself. It's really customer service, and it's being able to go above and beyond, connect with your clients level. And for me, with what I do and knowing the investment my clients are making in me, I want to be able to provide that for them. So they're a fantastic marketing tool, but they're also just a really solid way to create a community around your business. And as we're seeing businesses sort of shift and evolve, and people really start to choose businesses that they identify with on like a personal level or social level, like these are really going to be a great tool for people to use going forward in the future.
So are they, is it pretty easy to start the Facebook group?
Yeah.
Can you maybe walk us through that process?
Yeah, it's super easy. So you would just go on. It's honestly as easy as creating an event on Facebook. You just create a group and then you add your friends to it. You can choose like your privacy level. Because of our group, I have it invite only. But you can create a group for anything and really center it around whatever. And like our group has over, I want to say 2.5 thousand people in it, which is a solid amount of people that you're constantly engaging with, constantly connecting with. And we have a lot of contributors. The engagement within the group is like within the thousands every month. Like it's a very active source for referrals. Whenever I do my booking windows, I typically book up like that because I'm able to market directly to them.
Yeah, so I looked at it and it's literally just go on your browser, and in the left column you see groups, create a new group, and literally just type everything in, and it seems pretty straightforward. And yeah. I know, I mean, even just looking at my feed right now, all I get is like the groups I'm in, especially
and there's
a lot.
Yeah, and you can change the group name. So if you're having a sale or an event, people notified in their notifications that your group has changed, so they can see that. Like there are all of these tools that you can use to really directly market. And Facebook just had a thing where you can just show only group you're in posts, like post groups only. So if you just wanted to check in, like at the end of the day, like what groups am I in? Scroll through, you're able to do that. And so like my things will come up because people are looking for it.
Yeah, and I mean, even just in my regular feed, it's like pretty much, I think, I mean, it's just an assumption, but I think Facebook does kind of look at the groups you're in and be like, okay, obviously they like this content, so let's, show.
Yeah.
And with groups too, like you said, there's like sales going on and like stuff that you gotta kind of have to know like almost immediately. So I think Facebook's like, oh, they're part of this group. They want this content, so that's what we're going to push out. So I think it's really a smart way to like beat the algorithm because, that's going to go directly. Not only if they click your group and can see, but I think it gets favored in the Facebook feed. So
it does, and that'll notify them if you're like going live and so many things.
That too. It's there's different notifications you can do, but I think by default, if you join a group, you like get notifications every time somebody posts. So,
or if your friends post, or if you have a lot of friends. Yep.
So it's a really good way to let people know when you're posting and get it regularly seen. It's real smart. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. I guess that's pretty much it. But awesome. I'm glad you finally got to do an array thing. So.
Yes, I am too. This is awesome. Not as scary as I thought it was going to be.
I've gone live like college. I did a radio show where we went live, so I've gone live hundreds of times, and I'm still nervous every time. So
I
was actually a few weeks ago we had Kathy Lewis on here, and
nice.
I was talking to her about it, and I mean she's had a radio show for 25 years now, and she's like, yeah, I still get a little nervous. I was like, that is so crazy. But it's good nervous.
No, this was awesome. This is so natural and nice, and no, this is great.
Well, cool. Well, yeah, y'all check out LeZandra's stuff. Join the group if you're a lady, and we'll see you next week for Lunchtime Live. Thanks for coming on.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.